So, I don't know if you saw my other video. I got seeds bought. They're supposed to be this year, 2018, all the way back 2015. Yeah, just fucking fabulous. Find that out. But oh well. So I had some shallow onions put in there. Put them in a few containers to grow with other plants. Beans that have empty space in some of the containers. So make use of your square inches in your gardening. Um, so what I've wound up doing was two bottom dark rows down here and here. Beans, peas, carrots, cucumbers. I just fucking spread shit out, threw dirt on top. Over here, I already had carrots going, but I did the same thing. Spread a bunch of shit out, drop seed and water it, and let nature do its thing. I might add some more dirt on some of the stuff, considering I just top drop seeds, sprinkled them out like a fool. But yeah, everything is going through its ups and downs with the heat and the UV. Some days are better than others. I keep having to make tiny adjustments to how I water to make sure that the water holds and soaks in, partly because of the type of soil that we have. Even when you mix it, you still have issues because it's so clayish. That water sits on top, it doesn't want to soak, even if you do have it wet. But everybody seems really happy. They've all got their, for the most part, all got their leaves pointed up nice and high. But what I'm going to be working on is I clean this out some more. So what I've done is I got all these rocks here, and then underneath all this grass and weed and shit are these other rocks. But because the weeds come up so much, I said fuck it. I threw all the shit on top of the rock and let it sit, and it's kept the weeds down quite a bit. Or let stuff grow and do its own thing in here. Some of my other videos I actually had about my soils and containers in here, but watering becomes an issue. So eventually I got out my reservoirs, put them in my water feature, that way they can passively grow as fast as they fucking can. So what I'm going to be doing now, this was a pergola, blew down. This shit was being thrown away. It's expensive stuff. And thistles, the bumblebees. Bees love the thistles. They're not too friendly though. So, but yeah, I'm gonna drop some seed. Peas mainly. Beans take a little bit longer than the peas to sprout and grow. I'll drop a few beans, but what I have done, there they are right there. Go around the other side. So yeah, let some of this go to waste because of what we've all been dealing with lately. Some of this just to prove a fucking point to some people how hard it is. So all these peas, you're not going to survive off of this. This was a lot of work to get these peas in the plants that I had. So what I'm hoping is beans that we have about 2.5 to 3 months probably, maybe left of growing. 45 to 60 days. Hopefully I can get, at least a return on my peas. I'm not looking to provide food with this. What I'm looking to do is provide a return on seeds. So hopefully for every seed I put in the ground, I can get anywhere from, maybe 2 to 5 seeds, hopefully. Anything more than that is fucking great. But I want at least 2 seeds per seed that I drop in the ground. So come next year, when people realize how fucked up things really are, and we have to start doing our community gardens and all that, taking shit over, then I can contribute in more ways than one, hopefully. And that's the thing, that's why we all talk and we all come together and converse, is to figure out, okay, what can I do? What can I learn? How can I help out? what do I need to improve on, all that shit. I had a couple different berries, a couple different grapes, a couple more berries. Neglect, yeah, without water, things die. And you'll be amazed at actually how some things can survive. So, any questions anybody has, fucking holler up. But it's not that tough. It's only as difficult as you want to make it with all this stuff. So, I'm gonna drop some seeds, fucking plant some old shit. I'm just kind of fucking stream what I got. I don't know what else to say. I mean, there's lots of different styles of growing, lots of different ways to do it. You got to pay attention to your weather, your time frame, all that sort of stuff. These stupid stats. It's funny to see it go from like 4, 3, 1, 0, then 2, then 1. Hey Brenda, how are you? Yeah, I'm just kind of rambling. Doing a little show of what I got. Getting ready to drop some fucking peas in the ground. And then pee on them later. Pee on the peas. You gotta give them fertilizer. But no, I'm just kind of rambling and ranting like I do. But what I was saying is that with these, you know what I want, and I don't care. I gotta rip this nasty motherfucking thistle out. But with what I have right now, I'm just gonna start sprinkling shit. Is all I'm gonna do, and then I'll probably come in and maybe cover some of this stuff. But my biggest thing is, I want 2 to 5 seeds out of every seed that I drop. So if I only plant half of these and I can get that much more back, then yeah. All the better. So I'm trying to do something new. Normally, I've been pretty precise in my procedure, as far as like put one here and go so far apart and plant another one. And right now, I'm just like, what, fuck it. Let's just drop it. Let them fucking grow, and we'll deal with what comes afterwards, you know what I'm saying? So, especially when you're dealing with time constraints, money constraints, and then the turnaround, these are only a couple-year-old seeds, so they should grow pretty well, and I think that's more than enough for this mess, but sorry, reading comments. Oh, just a few. I called in to work today because my neck is starting to lock up on me. And so I figured, can't be a complete fucking piece of shit today. So I figured I'd get a little stuff done. Went and bought some soil and just kind of been slowly working at it today. Shitty thing about getting older, Alright. So I'm going to have to trim up the grapes because I got some berry. It's trying to make its way. One there, another one up there, one way up high, through this fucking jungle. This is a tasty plant. It's just too bad it's got seeds. Oh no, the sunlight and phones don't work too well. Hey Brian, how are you, Bob? Good to see you, man. Oh yeah, hold on, Noah. There we go. You should have power now. Alright. I'm gonna go grab some seeds. So like some of the stuff, I don't know, it's been maybe close to a week. Man, I'm sweating on my phone, so if shit goes crazy, blame the UV. So like these ones here, these are alpine strawberries. I pulled them out maybe, I don't know, maybe a week ago. And like I say, you got to give them a week to 2 weeks to turn around, but they're already starting to make strawberry. So yeah, happy about it. They seem to make it pretty well. Not one there. It's another strawberry. It's supposed to be an everbearing. It went probably a year without being watered by anybody, just by what nature did. So very resilient, very good crop to have. And then I know I got another one. Oh yeah, this one's doing well too. I think this is an everbearing, I think is what they call them. This was a store-bought one, and it's happy as fuck. Well, I got a little leaf curling, which is probably from the soil I put it in. Micros are probably out of whack a little bit, but that's all right. It's happy otherwise. And it's been hot too, UV and shit. So, you know, the biggest thing, focus on new growth for the most part. But yeah, strawberries. You know, strawberries are superfood. So, you know, it's any berry really. It's good food to keep around. But I'm gonna grab. I don't know what I want to plant, but those peas in the front. I think what I'm gonna do. I got some broccoli. I think I want to say broccoli for horseshoe. I think we'll put in some spinach. Yeah, we'll do some spinach in one of them. So the thing is to pay attention to your days. Like here, okay, so here's squash. I got 50 day, right? So it's middle August, so I can grow till probably end of October, maybe, depending on the weather. That's like 75 days. So a lot of these with the days, that should be okay. So I think I'm gonna plant some squash and that. The lettuce already planted. I'll put the lettuce in that. That's gonna be my salad bowl. So yeah, I'll go plant some more shit. I don't know. It's really sprouts. Sprouts. What kind of sprouts? Sprouts to me is kind of a generic term. So I should have looked at it, but to me, sprouts is a generic term because you can have, you know, Brussels sprouts. Your other sprouts are basically just a lot of fresh, like recently sprouted seeds. Oh, I want manna so bad right now with all these grasshoppers. I know where to get some. Sprouts in a jar, yeah. But like I say though, like I could take all these peas and I could sprout them. Those would be considered sprouts. You know, you could take carrot seeds and you could consider those sprouts. So, but yeah, sprouts have a lot of energy just because of what they are. So yeah, I mean, that's where sometimes, you know, I mean, you get it, terms and stuff like that, you know, are kind of vague in general, and if you understand it, then it ain't no big deal. But sometimes we have to kind of define our terms, the words we use, just so we're on the same page, you know. I mean, it has nothing to do with people or whatnot. But yeah, I used to be like, plant one here, then I'll plant one here. Yeah. Right now, I'm just like, fuck it. Let's just plant some. So yeah, I think I'm gonna take these, put one on every little corner. Uh-oh, lost him in there. There it is. Now what I'll do is I'll come back and I'll sprinkle shit on top, and then water it, lay them sideways. Because what happens a lot of time that I've noticed, and if you think about this, it makes sense. You try to, they tell you, oh, plant your seed so deep, blah, blah, blah. Well, it winds up, the seed doesn't have enough energy to make it through. And if you think about it, in nature, seeds don't bury themselves. You know what I mean? They, whatever fruit they're in, they can use that as nutrients, and then they pretty much just, you know, fall on the ground. And then whatever mulch happens with leaves and moisture and all that, then yeah. So, oh man, Sweat is just ruining this whole thing. I can't touch nothing. Oh no, rotate. Alright. Yeah, if I exit out, it's because I sweated on my phone. It's fucking humid as shit. And that's a big thing too. Humidity. Certain plants at certain temperatures won't grow. You get seeds at a certain temperature in the ground, they won't grow, germinate. And then of course with all this drought talk, if we look at it, we think about it, okay, we know there's geoengineering going on. We know they use radar and shit to direct it. And if you look at Yellowstone River, is one of the only undammed rivers, right? So now all these reservoirs, what's not to say you can nuke the shit out of them with microwaves. And now you start evaporating the water, and people wonder where the water disappears. And it's so fucking humid here. This is humidity like down south. It shouldn't be like this here. So yeah, I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit of seeds. And one thing I like to do to help you do your seeds is take your packet and crease it like that. Then as you shake one out, one at a time comes out of your package. So just a little tip if you want to kind of spread shit, and then you just kind of tap it a little bit. But I think what I'll do is I'll drop some spinach in here. I'll probably drop some more carrot seeds. I got a little bit of carrot stock. And being that the spinach isn't going to grow as high as the peas, of course, science and math and all that shit tells you, hey, put your tall shit behind, right? So we'll see how well these grow. This stock is 2018. Nice zoom. Holy shit. Yeah, 2018. So I gotta go get my carrot. Might do a little bit of dill too. So right now, you're like in I said panic buying. You're like in a panic planting. I don't know if anybody else has ever been like that. The spinach is very high vitamins and shit, so it's a good thing to use. There you go. Here's a little bit of my carrot stock. What else do I want to plant out there? I think I dropped all my rutabaga, bells, radishes. I dropped a lot of shit. Yeah, a few different kind of radishes. I planted a lot of that stuff yesterday. So all this stuff I just sprinkled in my horseshoe thing yesterday. Along with some 2013 cucumber mix. We'll see how those grow. There's my dill. Dill. See, I know it's dill because it says dill. So yeah. And then I think what I'm going to do, some bush. I don't know if I want any bush. I got, let me find it. I thought I had another thing of beans. Where'd my other thing of beans go? Motherfuck. Throwing my phone around. Oh, hey, right in front of my fucking face, huh? So beans here, I'm not sure, I don't remember if those are the same kind of peas or not. Don't matter. I planted those yesterday, and I'll plant these other kinds today if they're different. If not, sweet. I got a lot of the same kind. And that's the big thing, don't get caught up on variety. Variety can be a bad thing. Because you get, instead of trying to make one lot of one thing, you make a lot of nothing pretty much. Because you're so focused on different varieties. Yeah, and I'm just gonna kind of just drop these randomly. Like I said, I don't care at this point. It's not It's not about necessarily being perfect and getting the most production. At a certain point, it's a matter of just producing, you know, because plants will be plants, man. Plants have more will to survive than humans and animals ever do, in my opinion. A couple more drops here. Oh yeah. And we'll throw maybe 1 or 2 out in the front. And I think these are pole. So you have like your pole variety, which means they grow on a pole. You have your bush variety, which is like a bush. And then when you get into tomatoes, keep slipping on me because of my sweat. When you get into tomatoes and potatoes, you have a determinate variety and an indeterminate variety. So indeterminate means that there's no determination on how big they get. They'll grow and grow and grow. Your determinate variety only grows so much, right? And kind of what that means is how they grow on the stem themselves. Oh man, loose wire. I'm gonna hurt myself in my own fucking backyard. So your determinant is determined by the genetics. So like with tomatoes, they'll grow out of a certain spot, and that's as far as they'll grow in that spot. If it's indeterminate, it'll continue to grow out of the node and flower different spots. I'm not exactly sure. I don't remember the exact terminology, how they define it, but you know, hopefully with this, the carrots will overwinter here. The beans and the peas, no, not so much, but the carrots will overwinter. So, you know, I'm not worried about dropping my seeds too late, other than the fact that if the weather kills off the little ones, that would be my big concern. So, alright, plenty of carrots being spread around now. I don't want to waste too much of my stock, but yeah, just keep mucking. That's a lot of carrots, man. Hopefully everything grows. So let's throw a couple dill in there, here and there. You know, like I say, the main thing with all this right now, with what I'm doing, it's late in the season, I know that. Chances are I'm not going to get a very big return. But if I can get my seed back, plus a seed or two, I'm happy with that. So, give a little dill love. You always got to have some dill. Dill bring and dill's a great thing to have. Even if you don't like dill, dill brings the pollinators. And that's what you're going to need, because there's certain plants that, you know, they're not self-pollinating. They need the insects to reproduce. And it's just the way it is. That's why plants made insects, right? Because they couldn't get up out of the soil and walk away like all the walking trees and cactuses that there are. Alright, one more little kadoosh. So, and these seeds are at least a couple years old too. Pretty much every seed I planted is a couple years old, 2020 or older, except for the ones I bought today. We do have a few plants that will drop seed and overwinter, come back growing the next year. Pretty kind of rare because of the place that we live at. So, yeah. So I got peas planted, I got beans planted, I got carrots, and I got dill planted. So now I'm just going to have to bring the wheelbarrow over and kind of sprinkle it around to lock all the seeds in place, and then water it. And then I'm going to take this guy out of here, asparagus, and put it in a big container. Birds, yellow. Yellow finches, they're cool as shit. Man, it's so hot out here. Humidity is ridiculous. Go grab a smoke real quick. I'll be right back out. Sprinkle in water. And be done with this shit. Uh-oh. There goes the fire. Alright. Take this baby and go for a ride. Now you know what it's like to be buried alive. Alright, switch it. Cool. Get my container. Yeah, just fucking throw it around like chicken feed. Okay. So here's the thing with planting and soil and stuff too. If you're new to this gardening stuff, the water's gonna run and try to level itself out. Your seeds are going to move when you water, so be gentle. And this is part of the reason why I'm throwing shit on here, so they don't move and they stay locked into place. Now, just by throwing them on here like I did, and then watering, some of it's an experiment too, because I want to see how well they do with this technique. Alright, I'm just going to do the front and walk around the back and try to reach into the hole. I'm going to have a few thistles growing, probably. It's alright. Yeah, I just kind of go through and cover everything up so it stays in its spot. But as you water them, the water soaks up and pulls up and shit. Gravity will help bring some of the seeds down. When the water settles, the seeds will fucking sink into the dirt and cover themselves, basically, is what happens. So, get another load here. So yeah, this is kind of, always a work in progress. This, I've cured everything off because the way everything was sloped so bad that you couldn't grow anything. So I just started leveling off, tearing down, trying to level off as I go, and make it artistic, make it homey. But you definitely run into issues of watering just because of convenience, location, all that crap. Catnip's good for bronchitis. Any sort of lung shit, make a tea out of it. Any of that mint stuff is good for that. So spearmint, peppermint. Plus, if you like eating cat, it's a good way to bring in the neighborhood. Just saying is all. We got some bunching onions. I believe these are store-bought bunching onions. They've been here for a couple years. So we'll give them some newts. That's another thing by doing this is you top feed. Here's my pearl. Hey, kitty. You gonna come get stoned? Come on. Hey, wrong grass. Over here. Hey. Kitty. You ding dong. Wrong grass. She's a hoot. So yeah, now let's go get some water. Water this shit down. And then I'll be done with the live. Those of you that watched and just hung out, cool. Hopefully you learned something. And if not, let me water this shit down. Oh, that's hot. Water. Holy cow. Switch this around. I got it too wet. There we go. Oh, one more time. There we go. Taking the birds away. So the big thing I've noticed, whether you're doing container or soil, is water a little bit. Come back a little later, water a little more. Just because you water a bunch at one time don't mean shit. Doesn't mean you're good for days. Really water at night, water in the morning, and if it ain't too fucking crazy outside, maybe give them just a tiny little drink during the day, so they can keep themselves cool. And if you're sprouting seeds, you really don't want to get the soil dry at all. And by watering, you help keep it cool too, so you keep that soil temperature down so they can germinate, since some of them don't like to at higher temps. And really, once you get into the 90s, nothing's gonna fucking grow. Not unless you're in a very humid, wet environment, because they're gonna need that water to transpire. They lose it too fast. So they basically just shut off and quit growing. But you can see I had wires here too, and I grew peas and beans up on that, which I'll probably plant some more. But for now, just a quick little wet down. Hi, kitty. Bye, kitty. So yeah, you just kind of wet till you see the soil start retaining water, then move on. This thing, I mean, you can flood it to let it level out, but right now, just by getting it wet until I see it retain water, you lock the seed into place in a way. Okay, you start getting the soil to lock into place. And once you get the soil to lock into place, that's when you get the plants really start growing. And that's why if you do containers, you really need to focus on wet and dry cycles to begin with. Now it's all going to be dependent, but you know, you want that wet dry cycle. That forces your plant to chase water with roots, grow more roots, for one. But two, it lets you know what you're doing. It gives you enough time to see a reaction from that plant. And the biggest thing is never give it too many nutrients, because you can't really come out of that. You can do a lot of damage if you try to give them too many nutrients and your pH isn't balanced right. So now that I got it kind of locked into place and settled. I'll soak the shit out of it right now. Just keep going back and forth. And you'll notice sometimes with new soil, it either drains really too fast or it doesn't drain at all because it's not set in itself. So sometimes it'll take 3-4 cycles of watering to get them to fucking set. But like I said, with some of these seeds, they may not grow this year, but they might grow next year. So I'm not too worried about just top spreading them like I did. I mean, you can already see a lot of them are covered up. And a lot of them will probably sprout too, even though they're, you know, a couple years old or older. I think that's good for now. Gonna lock everything into place, give it a chance to dry. Give these guys another watering. So I got some kohlrabi cabbage in here. There's some radishes and shit that were left over from another grow a couple years ago. I grew carrots in this little spot. So it's had a rotation. And everything seems really happy right here. Even the grasshoppers are happy about it. But I tore this up, so I'll wind up give this a little water now. I'll wind up probably dropping peas and shit in here too a little bit later on. Try to get as much return as I can for come wintertime. You know what I mean? That way come spring we can really get to fucking business, because it's taking people too long to catch up to what's going on. And it's going to be a tough winter. Tough winter. And if this cartel shit going on in fucking Mexico escalates anymore, then you better fucking get ready all across the U.S. for dumb shit, because we know that they have direct contact with cartel here in my state up north for fentanyl. And I saw a person today, their daughter has zip tie on their door of their car. And if you haven't heard about that yet, supposedly that is a signal for kidnappers and sexual traffickers that that person that in that vehicle is vulnerable, and basically is an easy target, which is what they want. So, you know, one way to stop yourself from being an easy target is to be able to provide your own food. Okay? Don't be a victim. Don't be dependent on the fucking system because you don't have food or you don't know how to grow food. This is nothing you're going to learn in 1 year and become very proficient at it and think, oh, I could be a farmer. You know, I could do this. No, it's going to take you a little while to learn the ins and outs of what you need to do. I don't even know everything I need to do. I still learn. I think I know something, and a little while later, nope, that's not working. So I got to do something else. So you just keep plucking away, doing what you're doing, getting ready. Be ready for shit, because it ain't fucking going away. I don't care what anybody says. This shit ain't going away. And what's really frustrating about it is you know, there's a lot of us that told people, hey, get fucking ready for what's coming. And yeah, what a fucking welcoming we got. That was awesome. And it still is awesome. Appreciate it so much. It makes me feel great. It makes me want to actually fucking do this shit, you know, because, hey, people are going to be like, wow, how did you know? What do you mean, how did I know? How did I know what? How did I know to grow fucking food for what's coming? How did I know to stock up on protection and store food? and learn how to do all this shit, repair stuff, whether it be my car, my home. I mean, what the fuck is wrong with people? You got no self-pride at all. Do we not teach that anymore? Self-pride? I mean, I would think being smart would be something that all of us would want to achieve, no matter how dumb we are. Yeah, well, whatever. I don't know. I'm rambling again. Fucking retarded. You know, it's very tough when you have to learn and prepare and do things for multiple people, because those multiple people don't fucking get it. And the problem is they're on your side. They're your friends. They're your family. They're ones that you're going to rely on. But they don't seem to realize the gravity of the fucking situation we're in right now. Good, I hope we're all wrong. I hope we're all crazy. Were we crazy about telling you about mandates and shit coming? Were we crazy when we told you lockdowns were going to happen? Were we crazy when we told you they were going to get rid of cash? And that one of the only ways they could do it was with a virus? We're telling you, learn how to fucking grow food. Stock up on food now. And what do we get? Same shit as we got before. So, you know, at a certain point, fuck you all. Pretty plain and simple. Fuck you all. Go eat bugs. Go eat fucking bugs. You know what I mean? We told you. They told you. We all screamed for fucking ice cream, right? Speaking of ice cream, went to the fucking grocery store last night at Wally World, and Pelosi was in town. I couldn't fucking believe it. There was no ice cream left. None. At all. Worse than the other day when I was there. Go to my convenience store, and wouldn't you know it, the little fucking deli thing that they have as soon as you walk in, the little island deli on it for sandwiches and shit like that to grab and go real quick. No food because it broke down. Wonder where the parts came from. Huh. It's just, yeah. There's really not much else to say anymore. And as much as I love seeing the protest stuff go on, these people have no idea what they're really protesting against, what they're trying to organize people for. Good on them. Good on them for waking up and realizing that shit's fucking wrong. And they gotta stop some things, but they really don't fucking get it. So all these people out there protesting and doing their thing, how many of them do you think have a garden? How many do you think know how to grow food? We saw what happened at Chop Jazz. That was a fucking joke. You think you're gonna grow a fucking garden for 500 people on a piece of cardboard? You kidding me? What was that, a piece of cardboard? So, yeah, we're gonna grow food. That's so funny, man. It's amazing how ignorant some people are, you know? Just fucking, you know, the resources alone, the water, just what I'm doing now, the water. How valuable is that? People are gonna find out real soon, aren't they? I think they are. They're finding out how powerful water is right now. With the floods in Kentucky, with the droughts going on. You know, France shutting off tap water because of mega fires and droughts in the river, and, you know, the warning that showed up on a rock on whatever river here not too long ago, a couple days ago. You know, we forget more than we remember. That's how fucked up things are and how much shit's going on right now. When you get to that point, when you forget more than you can remember what's going on, things are not fucking too great. I don't want to fight neighbors. I don't want to fight family. I don't want to fight friends. I don't want to fight strangers. you know, I really wish people would take heed to what's happening right now, because it's not going to be pretty. I don't know. I'm just a fucking moron from nowhere that has nothing, like the rest of us. But yeah, these are my pasture system. I take my plants and I put them in my pond and save myself some watering and some headache, and they seem to all be happy right now. So hopefully I'll be getting a pretty good return. They're pretty much all just peppers and tomatoes. I got a bean, but yeah, peppers and tomatoes is everything I put in here. So yeah, happy. And of course I got my little reservoir up here that I rotate. Got a couple other plans for a few things, but if you haven't, if you know some of my other videos, that one's gotten pretty big, and those two have gotten really big too. So everything is turning around and growing pretty well since it cooled down a few degrees. We're still getting into the 90s, but you know. So yeah, I think that's it for the vid. I just kind of wanted to rant and show a little Lazy Man's way of planting shit, and that's more of an experiment than anything, so we'll see how it does. But you know, in theory, that's what nature does. So that's it. Peace, love, stay strong.